I mean, everywhere there's something happening, you see these ships in the sky. They're always out there, you know, like the Watchers, you know.
Yeah, and the Pope's funeral, they got a shot of the Vatican City that night.
Yeah,
and
there's another one. Yeah.
Yeah, because they're always watching.
Yeah, they're always keeping an eye on what we're up to, kind of thing. But the real danger is like people. Well, the first time somebody mentioned reptilians to me, like I think my eyes rolled a couple of times, and I just kind of yeah, okay. But I never sort of throw anything out unless I research it first. Otherwise, it's just, to me, it's ignorance. You know, just to say you don't believe in something without even doing the research. So I just started to research, and it started getting more and closer to home, and I started putting pieces together, and
yeah, well, you know,
now I'm just amazed at how many of them are there, you know.
And I'm sure you've read Branton stuff.
Oh, excellent writer.
You know, when I first started, and the Lord was showing me about all this stuff, the first thing He led me to was that Cosmic Conflict series.
Mm.
And that just put the light bulbs were going off in my head. It was like fireworks. And I put up that website of mine at the Watcher Files just so I could put all of Branton's stuff in one place.
Oh, he's an excellent writer.
He's excellent. And at that time, I believed he was dead. There was a rumor on the Internet that he was dead, so I thought this was a deceased person. And then I get an email from Branton thanking me for having his stuff on my site, and I was floored.
Yeah, his stuff, what I like, is very, it's very factual. It's not fanatical. It's very down to earth, and it's very real, and it's very well written.
Oh yeah, and he doesn't do radio interviews, or I would have had him probably a regular on this show. Even though being a regular on my show would probably mean 2 times. I don't do a lot of interviews on this show.
Oh, I'd love to pick his brain.
Oh, I know. I would love to just get him on the phone and get a live interview going with him, but he doesn't do radio interviews.
Oh,
but he's great with emails, and I'm going to do some kind of written thing on my site with an interview with Branton. And we've talked about this for a year already, and I just can't get to it. Just doing an interview with Branton and going through everything. But you guys are clearly, and Guy Malone that runs AlienResistance.org.
Yeah.
And he runs a great site. Yeah, I mean, these are the great Christian writers. There's a lot of great Christian sites on the net, so that people can find the truth. I mean, I hate it when I hear Zechariah Sitchin this and Zechariah Sitchin that, because he's such disinfo.
Well, he's laying the groundwork for the return of, the Third Gods.
Yeah, he is.
They have to have a foundation in the Central Intelligence Agency. It's called legend building, and they have to sort of build a legend and build a foundation, and then to bring it in. And what Sitchin does is he's just a pure foundation for this, the return, of all the aliens.
Yeah, because what he does is he touts the proponent view that we were created in test tubes.
Yeah. And so that opens the door for a lot of other little creatures that were created in test tubes too, you know.
Yeah, and then you got Richard Boylan, who promotes the Indigo and Star Children, and then you've got Michael Drosnin, who promotes the Moravian bloodline theories.
Yeah.
And I noticed you talk about that.
Yeah, the Merovingian or Moravian, how that's coming up now with the Da Vinci Code, and they're starting to talk more about Mary Magdalene now than Mother Mary.
Yeah, is that the Da Vinci Code or something like that?
Now, and we're getting ready, because out of that bloodline will come the Antichrist. So the gears are switching, and they're putting it in. They've gone from neutral now. They're in first gear. They're ready to go. And it won't be that long, I don't think. I mean, things are coming to a real head very quickly, very fast.
Yeah, I can usually tell just by the way the Lord has me write stuff and how urgent He wants things out as to why. Like this, right now, there's a window of opportunity. I don't know how much you guys hear in Canada about this whole Nasera agenda, because there seems to be a lot of activity, more so in Canada than here in the United States, about getting groups together to organize their arrival. Do you hear about that in Canada?
No.
No, because I hear a lot about it on the Internet, but you won't hear about it in our mainstream news.
No, not at all. No.
Yeah, and people often say, well, I'm going to Canada. And everybody's going to Canada to get away from the New World Order here. It's not any better in Canada, is it?
But no, Canada is one of the most controlled nations on earth.
Yeah, and that's why I could never understand why people are going to Canada. I would be heading south somewhere.
You can't even spit without having a license. I mean, everything is so, you're controlled for everything. You can't even, I mean, we have, everything we buy is 7% tax, and then we got GST tax. That's 14 cents on every dollar that we buy goes to tax. There's no accountability.
Yeah, and that's pretty much how we're taxed. That's the same way here.
I mean, and you can't do anything in Canada. I mean, you're a lot freer in America. Well, maybe the illusion of freedom, but it's a lot better
Not
there.
much.
Oh, here it's ridiculous. But it's and they're also very laid back in Canada. I'm probably going to get in a lot of trouble for this, but no, they're so sheepy here that you could put the GST tax up to like 28%. People would grumble, but they wouldn't really do much about it. I mean, you can do anything you want in Canada as far as government is concerned.
People just aren't voicing enough to fight against it.
No, we're so docile in Canada. It's kind of scary. It's like they just put up with everything.
Do you guys have talk about a national ID card?
I haven't heard it, but there is little things coming out about fingerprinting and stuff. They're kind of pushing a little bit here and a little bit there, and then what we do, Canada's relationship with America is a monkey see, monkey do basis. So whatever they see the Americans do, we follow immediately after.
Well, because I was under the impression that they were already implementing things in Canada, and then it was trickling down to here. That they were practicing things to see how they'd go in Canada.
Well, they haven't taken studies to proposals to do our DNA. If we're stopped for a ticket or something. But I see America's really, getting into that more and more.
Yeah, well, there's, you're on the internet as much as we are, and you can see what's going on with America and the mess everything is here.
But we got a lot of cameras everywhere. I mean, that's one thing.
Yeah, and see, that's one thing that's been starting here, cameras going up in all the cities. And, of course, I live in a two-horse town, and the only cameras around here are going to be the ones that have me under strict surveillance. They're not.
I live in a one-horse town.
You live in a one-horse? Yeah, I live in a two-horse, and they can watch anywhere I go and never leave wherever they're at.
I think the total population here is about 20,000 maximum.
Well, that's more than me. But we only got one stoplight in our town.
Holy cow! Okay, maybe we're a two-horse town then.
Yeah, you sound like you've upgraded to two-horse.
Well, yeah, and even here it's getting, where we are, we're secluded, and we're totally controlled by Masons.
Wow, and see, that's just not... I still kind of live in one of these hometowns that there's a church on every corner, and, they're just good, laid-back people. But I've noticed recently that the police department, some of the officers they've gotten in there don't even look human.
No.
I mean, there's one or two of them that you just keep staring at them because there's something weird about them.
Well, they're the damage control. They're the guys that are on the first line basis. If anything's, going out of control, like maybe there's some guy turns into a werewolf, let's say. Well, they're right there, and they're cordoning the area. They're getting rid of them, and you never hear of it again.
Yeah, I just kind of think he's one of these RoboCop type things, And
but look at the theme of the movies, Blade and all that, where all the police are all a part of it.
Yeah, because they will be. They'll be the ones enforcing all the rules, especially we have the Homeland Security Gestapo here.